The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Any questions for Coach Sparks?
I think the first thing we ought to do is go back and get some more food, don't you? I mean, that's pretty good. So,
Coach, 1:30 opener on a Thursday. Nationally, I guess it's going to be an easy three. So nationally televised game against a pretty tough opponent. It's an interesting way to start a season.
yeah, their preseason rank in about every poll I've seen, and especially the one that just came out, the AFCA, the American Football Coaches Poll. And so, and of course, they've got, I think, 16 or 17 starters back or something like that. And got the runner-up, what's the name of that award? Harlan Hill, which is the Heisman for Division II. He's the runner-up is back for that, and the one that won it graduated, so I guess he's the best player in the country coming back. And they're a good football team. There's no question about it. And of course, the reason we're kicking off at 1:30 is because we wanted to create some excitement. We wanted to be one of the first games in the country to be kicked off, and of course, we wanted to kind of hope to piggyback and doubleheader mentality a little bit with Tennessee, and the fact they're playing at 7:30 and we're playing at 1:30, and hopefully we can get people in East Tennessee excited about two football teams playing on that day. And of course, on campus, classes are going to be over at 1:30 or 1 o'clock, and we got we're having a tailgate party for the whole student body out here on the practice field, and we know all of y'all will be there, and so we're excited about the crowd and think it'll be a great way to kick off the year.
Coach, I talked to Coach Turner a little bit about Kevin Sneed, and it's just, especially with the Olympics going on, you know what he can do on the track, and he talked about how you wanted to get him, find a way to get him the ball. Talk about him a little bit, watching him take off like today in this script.
Well, he's faster than I am. And so, you know, if he's faster than I am, we need to get the ball in his hands. And he really can, of course, run, and he's proven that he can run. And he's a good athlete, and he's a strong athlete. It's amazing how good of a blocker he is. And that's the reason he's got a chance to play, because if he was just out there being a sprinter, you know, our wide receivers have to be split tackles, and, you know, because they got to block some. And so, but he's giving us great effort. He's I think, excited about being a football player, and of course, with that kind of speed, a lot of people want to see what else he's able to do. And so we're glad, and he's not the only one. Darby A. DeVos and Aaron Seward can run. You know, they may be a step behind him, but they can run. They both run in the 4.4 range. And so we got some speed, we got some skill at wideout, and we need to use it and utilize it.
You hear about a kid like that I guess had some opportunities to maybe go on with his track career, and I guess the Bahamas or something, but he decided he wanted to come back to school, he wanted to play football, wanted to have this experience. What does it mean to you as a coach to know that he's making that choice to come up and be with you guys?
Well, in reality, professionally, that's probably where he's got a better chance. You know, a fast football player has got a chance to, you know, a fast track guy. There's not an NFL for track, and I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying that the guy that can run's got a chance in his future, and so. And I'm not sitting here saying that he's an NFL prospect right now. He's not, but he could be. And so that's, you know, the key to Kevin is going to be how good that quarterback plays, and how good those offensive linemen block, and how well those running backs create a threat. It's still 11. It ain't about him. So.
Talk about your new offensive line a little bit. 3 the new guys coming in. You have a couple of veterans, obviously, to kind of help lead the way, but still, that's a lot of guys that really probably the most important position on your team. That's the first push.
Well, there's no question. It starts up front offensively. It starts up front defensively. There's no question about that. And we got, 2 or 3 guys that played some, 2 that started all last year. I think Dan Gallman, we got to get him well. He's coming off ACL. His rehab is progressing, and I think he might be ready to play first ball game, might not. Austin Lewis is having a great fall camp so far. Of course, we only been in pads 3 days. It's too early to see that a whole lot, but Austin is, that's 2 300-pounders that can move, and both of them are leaders, and both of them have played a lot of football at Carson-Newman, and so excited about both of them. And we got 2 or 3 freshmen that have got a chance. Of course, one of them got a concussion, and one may have torn an ACL yesterday. We're not sure yet. So we're struggling a little bit right now getting guys ready to play because they're not out there, and that makes it tough. But we got a good-looking group of kids, and I think they're going to be before the year's over. I think it'll be a special group.
Biggest change from last year to this year that you see
On our team?
Yeah.
Well, when you come out, we passed the eye test a whole lot better this year than we did last year. You come out there and look at us now, we're bigger and uglier than we were last year, and so I think that's a good start. And I think we got some guys that can run. I think we got some. I think we're a pretty skilled football team in places now. We're young, skilled, which means we're not there yet, and we got a long way to go. But we got some work to do, and we got. We just got to, we still got a whole lot of work to do. Going back to Kevin a while ago, I see David back there, his track coach. Here's the thing that happened to Kevin. Kevin got an unbelievable amount of confidence in track season because David did a tremendous job of helping him believe. And I don't care how talented we are, if we don't believe, we're probably not going to get it done. And Kevin, when he lined up, he believed he's going to outrun everybody. On the football field right now, he believes he's going to outrun everybody. And I credit David a whole lot for that, coach, our track coach. And that's our whole football team. That's not any different for our whole football team. If we believe, we got a chance. I said out there today, and Chan, I think you recorded it. I think you did. That I was talking to him, and here's what I said to him: the only ones that can beat Carson-Newman is Carson-Newman, and I really believe that. Anytime you get beat, most of the time it's from within. It's either with stinking thinking, or it's from a lack of heart, or it's a lack of something missing that you're not willing to give, maybe effort, whatever. And so I really feel good about. I don't believe this team. I believe it's going to try its best not to beat itself. I see that out of them, and so I'm excited about that. And again, I'm talking after 3 days of practice, and but we're making progress, I think.
Anything else for Coach Sparks?
Coach, about your theme.
Yeah.
Is that generated from the coaches or the players or seniors? Or who?
Well, actually, it came from me in the middle of, after chemo treatment. I don't sleep much, and in the middle of the night, I get up and start writing things, and that's what I came up with, and just felt like it was something that maybe could be applicable, because we're always trying to think about how we can bring a group together. How can we all? That's always the deal, in marriage, in a business, in a church, in Carson-Newman, any organization, a football team. This has got to happen. And so I felt like that theme was first of all, we know we're all created special because we're creating God's image. We all know that the Lord has, just like the parts of our bodies, that it's all, if we leave a part of it out, we're probably not going to function very good. And so those parts, those special gifts have got to come together to be a whole. And then we know where our power source is. You know, we know who created us. We know who called us. We know who gives us the to go get it done. And so that's the reason. That's the reason for the theme. And it's based on Philippians 1:27. We always try to base everything that we do theme-wise or whatever, what we tell our kids, what we say to y'all, that we hope that it's based on God's truth, so it'll hold up under pressure. And Philippians 1:27 is where it come from, and this is what Paul said. He said, this one thing, which means it must be important, he said, this one thing, live your life in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. And then whether I see you or hear, that you're standing in one spirit with one heart, side by side for the sake of the gospel. Hey, is that good or what?
Amen.
Come on. Come on, let's go get them. This is my quarterback I coached back in 1902, and it was a little bit later than that one. It was 72.
You're close.
He was a quarterback. Jimmy was a quarterback. This is Jimmy Sullivan. He was a quarterback here when Dow Shealy hired me back in 1972 as offensive coordinator, and he was about as old as I was, and played for our first national championship in '72. And Jimmy's one of the guys started. And he helped me be a better offensive coordinator. Yeah.
Anything else for Ken?
Talk about bringing in Coach Slade, what he means to this program, and his experience in the game, and right in this area, right down the road at Tennessee.
Well, of course, he's been there, done that. I mean, he's been places in Texas A&M, Washington. He was at Washington. They won the national championship. He was at Texas A&M. They had the best defense still in the history of NCAA. At Tennessee, that was their prime time when he was there in the '90s, and that's when they, were getting ready to play for a national championship. At Louisville, he did an unbelievable job for them at Louisville. So he just, he's been successful there. He did an unbelievable job with them at Central last year. So it don't matter what level. And guess what? He coached a midget league team. And guess what they did? I think they won a state championship, And so that's just the kind of person he is. He's fundamentally sound. He's been there, done that. He's like me. He's a little hard-headed sometimes, but he does a great job. And I tell you what he does. He loves the Lord and he loves kids. And that's what we're about around here.
Anything else for Ken?
Yeah, between yourself, offensive and defensive coordinators, I don't think you're going to find another program with that much experience
I agree.
in charge combined. You have to use that to your advantage, right? How do you do that, and what does that, you three guys mean?
Well, first of all, we have to talk real loud because they say, what'd you say? And but no question that those two guys, I mean, both of them have got about 40 years of experience. And where do you find that? You don't anymore, because most of the time coaches just fade away, or get tired of getting fired or something, But those two guys are very, very special. There's no question about it.
Anything else?
Thank y'all again for coming, and make yourself at home.